What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been quite a long time since the last one, but I'm back with the remainder of my Malamar Games sets from the season before we hop into some Regulation D fun. I'm still getting a handle on that format, so this will give me some time to, really get comfortable with it, and I think I'm going to go back to my original theme of this whole channel, honestly, which was making teams with just fun out there Pokemon. Anyway, yeah, so let's go into this. This week 8 was the final set of the regular season. I was already guaranteed a playoff spot at this point, but I definitely wanted to have fun with it. We were up against Rich Rappa, who is a friend from Georgia VGC, also who made top 8 at the Charlotte Regionals. That was the one that I managed to make day 2 at. He outperformed me with a really cool Ston Jorner team at the time, which was super cool to see. He's a fantastic player. And the format we're playing this week is actually one of each generation. So the idea is that you have to have a Pokemon. Each of your Pokemon must be from a different generation. There are only 6 on a team and 9 generations, so you can't have a representative from each. But yeah, it actually made a pretty cool little restriction for us. We're also limited to Series 1 Mons, so no Paradox, no Ruins, and of course no Home Mons that are from Regulation D. I chose to go with a variation of the Palafin Rain stuff that I was using at the end of Series 1. So you can see a Terra Grass Palafin here to deal with both we don't have to worry about Dondozo because Dozo and Tatsugiri are from the same gen, but Amoonguss seems like a very obvious bring to this format, so Terra Grass there seems very good. Similarly, I have a Terra Grass Terra Blast Pelipper to deal with potential Gastrodon. I don't know that it'll be popular, but Palafin was very good in Series 1, so it stands to reason that someone might bring a Gastrodon here. We are similarly bringing Amoonguss with Rocky Helmet. So in Series 1, Pop Bomb Mousehold was huge at the time. So yeah, having just a hard counter to that, especially in a format that is closed team sheet outside of the Terra types, really big. We're going with a special Dragonite, Sharp Beak plus Hurricane in Rain, Modest. It has a pretty respectable special attack stat, not nearly as good as its physical attack, but I think this will be very good in closed sheet. And yeah, it just does solid damage, and then you have the E-Speed, even though we have a negative attack nature, to just pick up those last little bits of damage that we need to. I think a really cool mod on this team is Scizor. It's always just been kind of outperformed by other priority users in the formats, but it obviously appreciates Rain with its 4 times weakness to fire moves. We have a Terrafire here to potentially avoid burns. Bullet Punch, obviously just Technician plus Life Orb plus Stab is massive damage. Pounce is a nice little addition to its set. It doesn't have Bug Bite anymore as of Gen 8, but lowering things speed, big bug stab damage is very nice. If it's any psychic types, any dark types, we can take care of them there. And then similarly, close combat, just fighting is a fantastic offensive type. So having a base 120 coverage move of that type is just great. And then finally, Luxray, which I really like. It's honestly just outclassed by every other Intimidator in the format, really. If we think about just Gyarados and Arcanine and the new Tauros alone. But we already have Mons from those generations. Palafin taking the place of the Tauroses, Dragonites Gen 1, so Arcanine's off the table. And what was the other one? Gyarados, also Gen 1, so off the table, right? So we have Luxray, who we can spec to be very bulky. It can Volt Switch, pivot out to keep intimidating things, or it can stay in and click Priority Baby Doll Eyes to just absolutely destroy physical attacking stats. And then we have Snarl as well, Helping Hand, and yeah, the only real problem with Luxray is that it's quite slow, and B, it doesn't really have any damage. Wild Charge is nowhere near as strong as Flare Blitz, so it just can't quite compare to Arcanine. But yeah, I'm really hoping that it does well here. Maybe we'll fake people out thinking that we have Thunder, and they'll make some scared plays they don't need to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's time to jump into the set and see how I did against Rich. Okay, we hop right into game 1. Rich has got a pretty cool sand team by the looks of it. Gyarados Gen 1, T-Tar 2, Gardevoir 3, Hippowdon 4, Goth 5, and the Worm is 9. So yeah, going along with the rules, I'm looking like I'm going to try leading Dragonite plus Palafin right here with Pelipper in the back. It's pretty good because we're going to have a Weather War by the looks of it, which is always fun. And we can always swap Pelipper in either to get a big surprise baby wave crash off or immediately start clicking that Sharp Beak Hurricane, which should do some big damage here. As for the last slot, it's hard to say. Luxray looks like it would be really useful here. This is a mainly physical team with the only special attackers being Goth and Gardevoir, and Goth is most likely Shadow Tag. So, well, that it could be competitive. It is the Malamar Games after all. And if we have competitive, then Luxray will be really rough for us. But we got to find out, and game one is not a bad time to do it. Now, on the other hand, Scizor also looks like it could put in some real work here because we can get that super effective Bullet Punch off into the T-Tar, into the Gardevoir, and we have close combat for the Worm, which would be really nice to stop it from getting those Shed Tails up. Life Orb CC should do a lot of damage. It's not stab, but like as long as we do get it under 50% after a Citrus Berry, so we'd have to do at least 76%, then we should be golden. Okay, so what's the lead? Gothitelle plus T-Tar, and we have Dragonite plus Palafin. Yeah, so this is kind of ballsy on my part, right? Going with the Palafin lead, because when I see that Goth, it means I can't switch it out, which means I've just got to go full aggro here. I don't really know how I led into this. I feel like the fake out from Gothitelle is really obvious, right? Am I going for Terra Flying Hurricane Raw? That'd be pretty ballsy, but it's a lot of damage, so it'd be good. And yeah, this is a good thing for me to check, actually, because it's not open team sheet. Doing that confirms that it is, in fact, Shadow Tag, and I will not have to worry about probably competitive with Luxray Intimidate in future games. Now, as for, yeah, it looks like we're just going for it. Double attack into the Goth, hopefully take it out. Not even 50%. And Draco, yeah, if I'd gone for the, I think Hurricane would have done it. Terra Flying Hurricane definitely would have done it. But yeah, that's unfortunate. So we just barely missed the kill there. We confirmed Citrus Berry on the Goth, so it will be taking Sand Chip from its partner. Oh, and it sets Trick Room. We are in a really rough position here then. Okay, so the good news is that even though we've burned our special attack, like we are -2 special attack on Dragonite, it is a mixed set. It still has Extreme Speed, so Extreme Speed, it's going to be really close whether it picks up the Goth or not. I think it will be enough with the Sand Chip at least, but the question becomes what to do with the Palafin, right? Jet Punch plus E-Speed would guarantee the kill on Goth before it can do anything, but on the other hand, we really need that chip into T-Tar. And we absolutely have to Jet Punch because another Rock Slide is going to take out both our Mons. The Dragonite has multi-scale, so if it takes double the damage it's already taken, it will go down. Yeah, and my Palafin being Terra Grass means that I didn't have the option to guarantee more damage with a Terra Water Wave Crash turn 1. Jet Punch pretty good there. And the Rock Slide. Okay, so yeah, this is rough. I think this was the right play. Ultimately, we confirmed that there was no weakness policy on the T-Tar. That would have been absolutely tragic. But the double KO here is not great. Maybe a double protect would have been good to just stall out the Trick Room turns. Because now we're down to our last 2 Mons. We do get weather control, but the second they swap out T-Tar, that is definitely gone. So Bullet, and the Sand wasn't even enough to take out the Gothitelle also. So yeah, this was not a great game 1 so far. Bullet Punch could do a lot here. If I feel like he's kind of forced to Terra the T-Tar, so we'll find out what type it is. And then Terra Grass on Pelipper is an option, right, to get the stab Terra Blasts out. Hurricane is going to be not very effective into the T-Tar. But he is going for Terra here. Flying. Okay, that's rough because now the Grass Terra Blast is going to be not very effective. Should have maybe clicked the Hurricane instead. I think Terra Grass here was good, though, to get rid of our rock weakness. Pelipper actually has pretty respectable physical defenses, so like this is not a bad call at all. Now the move I clicked is. But with any luck, it may get the T-Tar into Bullet Punch range. I'm not sure, though. Yeah, so both the Mons take it relatively well. The problem now, of course, is that Rich still has 2 more Mons in the back. And this is going to do nothing. Oh my god, nothing, yeah. Really wish I clicked Hurricane there, but would have taken a big read. And then here comes the Hippowdon, and it doesn't reset the weather. I want to say its other ability is like Sand Force or something, which makes sense, right? It's a sand team. It would want that boost. But I also don't know if we'd want to swap out T-Tar here, because he only has 2 more turns of Trick Room, and taking advantage of that seems really smart. It's hard to say. Weather control is very important for both our teams. We can go for this Bullet Punch into the T-Tar here. I think that makes sense. As for the Pelipper, we have the super effective Terra Blast into the Hippo, so that's always an option. And yeah, okay, they are electing to get the weather control back, and the Worm comes in. That's really annoying, right? Because it's going to eat this Bullet Punch really well. And protecting the Hippo. Okay. Makes sense all around. We're definitely in a pretty negative spot here. The good news is that we threaten the close combat into the Worm, and he doesn't necessarily know that we have CC yet. Scizor does generally run it, but on the other hand, people generally don't run Scizors, so... We're gonna have to see what I would do here. I think we need to get that Grass Terra Blast to the Hippo, and it's kind of obvious, right? Just super effective moves, CC into the Worm and Terra Blast into the Hippo, but we are like very far down, and we like with the 2 to 3 and our Mons being low health, so we do need to get this done. On the other hand, Trick Room is up, right? And so protecting Scizor for a turn would be very useful. So yeah, that's what we're going for here. Is very risky, because if the Worm goes for a Shed Tail, that would be kind of tragic. EQ next to the Worm is very smart, but Pelipper should take it really well, so that's nice. The hope is that he got greedy and just went for an attack instead of a Shed Tail. And it's a Heavy Slam, and Pelipper lives on 1. Okay, so that bulk is coming in clutch here. That said, I do kind of wish I'd attacked with Scizor. I'm sure it could take the... I'm sure that it could take the Earthquake relatively well, since it resists... Or it's neutral, Steel and Bug, right? So yeah, now we go for the close combat, and we know the Hippo has Protect is the thing, right? So we could make a read and double the Worm. But it looks like I might go with the obvious play here. And they don't protect the Hippo. Okay, so this ended up working out really well. I am revealing my CC tech here, so kind of moment of truth. Does Life Orb Close Combat take out the Worm? If it was Stab, it would 100% do it, but without Stab typing, I'm not sure. Answer is no. And what do they go for? I really hope it was the Shed Tail. Ah, no dice. Okay, so now it's Scizor against the world. And I have unfortunately just lowered my my defenses, so also not ideal. Yeah, so at this point I think either Mon will take out Scizor at -1 from this range. Might as well learn a calc here, because the T-Tar, if it's Terra Flying, will probably have Terra Blast, so it doesn't even have to risk a Rock Slide miss. We might as well go for the Bullet Punch here and see if Life Orb Bullet Punch can do just under 50% to a Tyranitar. If that is the case, that's useful information for the future. It would mean that Bullet Punch might even Oko it when it's not Terran. Yeah, we are going to have to see here, though. Remember, this is Technician, it's Stab, it's Life Orb, and it's off of a base 130 attack, so it should, even though it's just a little priority move, it's actually very strong. Like, Scizor was kind of the go-to priority killer before Terra Normal Dragonite speed became a thing. Ah, no dice, just a little bit off, so I guess the Band would have been nice there, but Protect really saved us, so... And then Body Press goes in. Okay, so we unfortunately do lose game 1 here, but that is why we're playing a best of 3. Gotta try to make it a good set. So once we see the win screen here for Rich, I'm going to go ahead and skip straight to game 2. Okay, so how are we going to go ahead and try to adapt this game, right? I think that Luxray could be really useful for the Intimidates, and I think that Spore on Amoonguss could be really big too. We have that Rocky Helmet. It was kind of more to deal with Mousehold Pop Bomb stuff in case, because the format is Series 1 and that's quite strong. But all these physical attackers are not going to like taking Rocky Helmet chip. And if he sets Trick Room up again, then the Spore will be massive, because I didn't see much Terra Grass on that team. Well, it's hard to say, right? I think I did have the Terra types at the time of playing, so I would know. But yeah, it looks like we are going with the Amoonguss. If nothing else, I strongly suspect that T-Tar is AV, and we know it's Terra Flying, so if he sets up Trick Room, then there's nothing stopping us from sporing it. And there are no natural grass types on the team, at least. So we're doing those two. We have Pelipper in the back because we still cannot afford to just give up the Weather War. And then Luxray is the fourth. So this is cool in that we have some very strong support here. Amoonguss and Luxray will be able to really slow their team down. Now, the risky part of this, though, is that pretty much all our damage is invested into Scizor, and I guess to a lesser extent the Pelipper, but it's mostly all on Scizor to do the damage here. And he goes with Worm and Goth. Okay, so right off the bat, the obvious play for my opponent here is to go for a Fake Out plus Shed Tail. You can Fake Out probably Scizor and then Shed Tail with the Worm, and that will like, the worst case is that your Goth goes to sleep, but whatever gets in will have a substitute up, so it can't be slept. With that said, it would I think the best play here is to close combat the Worm and then Spore the Goth. If we get the CC off, then we know that's more than enough damage to stop it from getting up a Shed Tail, and they just go for the Fake Out into the Amoonguss. Okay, so I will absolutely take this trade. Yeah, that's amazing damage. The Worm doesn't even have a berry, if I recall. Yeah, no berry. It just goes for Heavy Slam into the Amoonguss, so great. We reveal our Rocky Helmet, and it hurts both of them. And actually, I think that's enough to just take out the Worm, so amazing start. The only negative here, Amoonguss has taken a little chip, and Scizor's at -1 on its defenses, but I will take that trade all day. It brings up the Hippo. From here, we have some options, right? We can't actually switch, so that's the annoying thing. It looks like I wanted to. Bringing in Luxray would be very nice for the Intimidate, but I forgot at the time. Shadow Tag's a thing. So we're going to go for Pounce. We're going to try to take out the Goth, and then we go for Terra Water and Spore it. Goth might need to be faster than Scizor, and we want to get rid of our Poison typing here. We do not want to take a super effective Psychic into the Amoonguss. And on the off chance that they are able to kill Amoonguss with the double in, this Pounce... Oh no, we're just faster. And we just Oko. Okay, so I severely underestimated how powerful that would be. I don't think at the time I thought that I'd be faster than the Goth, or that Pounce would be strong enough to Oko a Goth, but it's super effective at Stab, and it's off of Scizor's amazing attack. And Rich just goes for Stealth Rock, which is interesting. I think that's better on lead for sure, but we get the Spore off into the Hippo, and from here, I think we just kind of ran away with it on lead. The last Mon, I would have to guess, is T-Tar, if you want that Sand Force, and I believe that's the nickname he had, T-Tar. Yeah, Arg. Okay, so, with that, at this point, we just kind of want to bleed our opponent dry here. Goth is gone, so we absolutely can swap in the Luxray, and then after that, we might as well just, I guess, Spore the T-Tar. Strongly suspect it's Assault Vest, so it wouldn't be able to protect from that. And Terra Flying Blast, not going to do it. Flying Terra Blast, especially at -1. Something to keep in mind, though, is we will be taking chip every time we pivot in and out because of the Stealth Rock. But I think it's more than worth it just to keep putting these -1s. And we only need 1 or 2 of those before we can just kind of clean up with Scizor and Pelipper in the back. Also keeping in mind that we have Baby Doll Eyes, so we don't necessarily have to keep pivoting with the Volt Switch. We can just like keep tossing -1s without proccing the Stealth Rocks repeatedly. Yeah, this Flying Terra is it's obvious but also necessary because otherwise you'd be taking double damage from the bullet punches, and yeah, that Rocky Helmet just continues to pay for itself. Doing a bit more chip into the T-Tar, and now if we force the Terra, it will be taking chip every turn from its own Sandstorm, so really nice all around. From here, yeah, we can just keep putting Baby Doll Eyes in, and then we can swap in Pelipper, permanently win the Weather War here. I will say that the Stealth Rock chip is going to hurt here, but it's still worth it because of Amoonguss's Regenerator. It will regenerate more than Stealth Rocks does, so swapping in and out will ensure that we just keep getting these spores off. The more Baby Doll Eyes we get off, plus the Intimidate means that our opponent won't be able to actually do any damage into our Terra Water Amoonguss. And the Hippo gets another sleep turn, so also very nice. From here, I think it's time to just start putting damage into it. Do I decide to go for Volt Switch? I guess it makes some amount of sense. And then we can just start Hurricaning. It is the only damage that Luxray really has, right? And it is super effective. Yeah, I'd say that's more than worth it. We're bringing the Amoonguss, who doesn't mind the Stealth Rock chip, thanks to the Regenerator, like I was talking about. And then in the end game, we're just going to have yet another Intimidate onto Hippowdon and the rest of the team. So we're really just kind of bleeding them dry at this point, but it is the smart way to play it, I think. Rich is definitely sticking it out till the end, so you know, hats off to that. And another Stealth Rock. I don't know if he forgot that. So Stealth Rock is just a set once kind of thing. It's not like Spikes or Toxic Spikes where you need multiple layers. We'll just do this again. We'll get one more Intimidate off at this point. I think Hippowdon's at -3, T-Tar at -2, and so like having Intimidate's definitely nice in this format. All right, yeah, that gets rid of their Terra user, and at this point it's a -3 Hippowdon against the world. That super effective Earthquake doesn't even take out Luxray, not even close, actually. One more will do it, for sure, but actually, no, I forgot about the berry. One more will not do it, so yeah. We can just keep spamming Hurricane, we can keep spamming Baby Doll Eyes, and whatever's left, Scizor will take care of it. And we do have Snarl for damage if it absolutely came down to it. Yeah, there's that -3. Could also go for Helping Hand Hurricane, which is probably the smarter play here, but yeah, and battle is canceled. Great. So we take game 2. That means it is going to a deciding game, and I will go ahead and skip to team preview for that. Okay, so this time I do decide to go back to the Palafin. My hope is that he will not lead Gothitelle this time. It didn't seem to work out for him last game with Scizor threatening that pounce into it. But we'll still have Scizor out front. So the idea is that if the worst case happens and Goth is there, we can try to take it out with Pounce to let our Palafin get out safely there. Pelipper for speed for weather control, and then Luxray really did a great job last game. I will say it's kind of risky not bringing Amoonguss, but I do kind of like this play, if only because we really lacked damage last game, and it was kind of lucky that I was able to take a commanding lead early. So yeah, let's go ahead and see this decider. All right, Hippowdon plus Earthworm. That Hippowdon has EQ, so that's pretty cool play. If only that he can heal up any damage I do to the worm. I could double it, but the worm can also have Protect. I can't remember if it showed it this set already. We could double the Hippo, or swap. Luxray is an interesting idea because it would put an Intimidate down, but if he is going to click EQ, which seems like a pretty free play here, then even the -1 isn't going to stop that from hurting pretty badly. At -3, it still chunked us pretty bad. But I think I do decide to get Palafin out immediately in case there is a Goth in the back. Just securing that hero transformation will be really useful. Hero, Jet Punch, and Rain will do a lot, especially with all the weaknesses on this team. And he just chooses to swap out the Hippo, so... El Diablo, is that Gyarados? Okay. Intimidate goes down. If T-Tar is the last one, it does mean that we've lost weather control here. But the Worm goes for Protect. Okay, that's actually really good tech for Rich to have kept until now, because most people don't go for it. Luckily, we did go for the Pounce here instead. Doesn't do almost any damage into Gyarados because of the -1 and the resistance, but the speed drop is pretty relevant, I think, since our Pelipper is not max speed. But now we can swap the Palafin in. It will not be intimidated, and try to preserve that weather control, right? And then CC into the Worm still seems pretty good. We are at -1 now, but it almost killed at neutral, and pretty much anything to prevent a Shed Tail, like the substitute. I know I've talked about it a lot, and it hasn't happened this set, but the kind of steamroll you can get going when you have a free substitute on a Mon is pretty huge. Oh, he just flat out withdraws it, though. Pretty smart. What's coming in, though? Oh, the Tyranitar. Okay, that was a mistake. I suspect that we're going to have weather control for the rest of this game, then. That's a 4-time super effective base 120 move. It's a -1, but who cares? Yeah, okay, that was probably game-winning right there. And T-Wave into the Scizor. Okay, so very annoying, I'll give you that, but yeah, I will take the trade any day to just kill their Weather Setter right off the bat in exchange for a Paralysis. Now, the problem is we really don't have much damage into this Gyarados. Wave Crash in Rain will probably still hurt it really badly, but hard to say here. And again, it's been quite some time since these games, so I'm not sure how I handled it at this point. We're going to protect Palafin and go for the Luxray. I'm not sure I agree with that in retrospect. Neither of these Mons are really putting serious offensive pressure on. Oh, and he's just going to swap the Gyarados, though, so we don't have to fear a... We have to fear a Thunder Wave, which is very nice. We do have to deal with Intimidates potentially coming our way, but with the Rain boost, I think that Palafin will still do plenty of damage. So from here, because his Protect fails, he actually has the option to do it again. Wave Crash into the Hippo seems pretty good here. And then we are just going to flat out swap in Pelipper. I guess the expectation is that Gyarados is going to come in to one of these slots. I'm just still kind of impressed that I haven't seen Shed Tail once on the Worm. I feel like that absolutely needs to be something you're threatening. And he hasn't clicked it this set yet. This might be the time to do it, but... No, if he doesn't want to, I certainly won't complain. We just got a Wave Crash and the Rain off onto this Hippo. Okay. Yep. I think we can 100% call this set then. The Gyarados coming in is going to be annoying, but just pure numbers advantage. Now, granted, that recoil was pretty serious. And Iron Defense on the Worm. Okay, that could potentially be game changing actually, because I can't get rid of body press drops. I don't think I have a taunt on this team either, so with it being mostly, yeah, I don't have any water damage on Pelipper either. Okay, so yeah, this could get pretty serious. That Worm could in theory 1v4, which I don't love. Am I going for Tailwind? I guess it would make some amount of sense to allow Scizor to go first and still close combat the worm. But with that +2 on its defenses, that's still very scary. And it protects this turn. Yeah, so this Luxray switch was really great to eat the T-Wave here. We get Tailwind up. A lot of Gyarados don't even run Protect, so doubling it here seems like a relatively safe play. Volt Switch plus Hurricane, and then we just start smacking the worm and hope that the 4v1 advantage is enough, right? I clicked Hurricane into that. I don't know that Volt Switch actually kills here. Gyarados is actually very specially defensive, so it can like very notably eat some of these 4x moves. But the Terra is finally coming out, so let's see what it goes to. And it is the Gyarados, so that makes some amount of sense. Okay, just regular flying, so it's going to be normal super effective as opposed to 4x, but it also means that my Palafin can safely just get a Jet Punch off onto it. This Hurricane is not going to do much. Yeah, pray for the confusion, but... I do like that. This is, I shied away from a Hydro Pump on the Pelipper, but I kind of wish I'd done it now. Ooh, a Waterfall in the Rain actually hurts a bit. Luckily we did Intimidate. Not that it matters, because the Body Press does take out Scizor here. So, we are in an interesting position, I'd say. At this point, what we can do is bring in the Luxray and Helping Hand Hurricane the Gyarados. That seems like a decent play. We really need to preserve the Palafin for the end to just smack that worm with Wave Crash in the Rain and hope that's enough. There's still 5 turns of Rain, so that Damp Rock is really doing work for us here. Am I Volt Switching? I think that might be a mistake if I don't want to eat a Body Press in that slot, right? Hurricane does do decent damage despite it being resisted, though. Gyarados goes down, so that probably almost entirely confirms no Protect. Critical hit, don't think it mattered. Yeah, in retrospect, Helping Hand plus Hurricane was probably the safer play. Just to let Luxray eat a potential Body Press and allow us to have Palafin plus Pelipper in the in-game. But the fact that that Luxray has that special Volt Switch might also be really useful in endgame too. And Rich just greeds with another Iron Defense, so maybe not the worst play, since it means that this worm can now easily take a Wave Crash, but I think we still just keep clicking it. So it's at +4 on its defenses now, which is pretty scary. The other thing is that he is trying to stall out my remaining turns of Rain, which is really smart. To him, it might have looked like it was the final turn of Rain, but luckily the Damp Rock buys us 3 more turns of it. Not just banging another turn, but also leftovers, so yeah, very smart. Tailwind is gone. I don't think that matters. Everything I have left should be faster than it anyway. So we just keep clicking the buttons and kind of hope we can wear it down here. I don't think any other brings would have helped once these Iron Defenses got set up. Dragonite wouldn't have done much either. I guess its Hurricanes would have been much stronger than Pelipper's, to be fair. But yeah, the damage I have to wear it down is clearly enough now. We even get the Confusion finally, so if this hits itself, then that just 100% is the game. And it doesn't, so okay. Palafin does go down here, but in the final turns, we have to assume that he's going to Protect once, and then we just get to Volt Switch and Hurricane again. I don't know how many Rain turns there are. I think 2 or 3, but unless he gets a double, I don't think that matters. This was very close. If I hadn't gotten that free KO on the T-Tar, it might have gone really badly for me. Um, but yeah, there's no reason to not just keep attacking. I have plenty of power points left, and he doesn't protect this turn, which is surprising, but we go ahead and take the win there. So yeah, big thanks to Rich for playing this with me. Thanks to everybody for watching, despite the Malamar Games being over for quite some time. I had a lot of fun playing these and building for it. I think I've still got a few more matches to go. So yeah, please tune in and check me out next week against Sempra, who is another regional champion.